It's very easy to blame an industry and say, oh, these fallen people, ye gire hue log.
You sleep with me and I'll make you star. But is that how it works?
It's just not enough to create something beautiful. I want people to know what beautiful tastes like.
No sex, no drugs, no alcohol. One father is to come for interview.
In my case, I would say behind every successful woman is a tribe of other successful women who have her back.
Historically, we've not been kind to whistleblowers.
Hey guys, I'm Malini and I'm really excited to share another episode of The Girl Tribe with you.
More power to all the girls out there, a part of Miss Malini's Girl Tribe.
Hello, my tribe, and I'm super excited today because I have been wanting this supernova to be on the show forever. Richa, I love you so much. And, I've been wanting to talk to people about this, but I'm afraid to talk to women in the industry that there is this dark underbelly in the Bollywood industry. I want to know from you, what is it from what you know and what you've heard or maybe experienced that people are expecting the actresses to do?
The first thing we should understand, because this is kind of a heavy discussion, is that the industry is not insulated from society. The rules, the problems that we have in society are the same ones that we face in the industry, whether it's classism or elitism or sexism. Imagine that in a slightly more refined or not scenario inside the film industry, and which is why I think the right word to use would be impunity. Because they think that they can get away with it.
But why are they getting away with it?
Because forget that I'm a star and I'm an actor. I have this privilege of being in the industry and having my voice heard. If we remove all that for a second and think of me as a normal girl living in India, the things that one has to deal with, whether you're taking public transport or whether you're up for a promotion, the scenario is very similar. And when you open the newspaper and you realize, okay, it's very strange, but in one part of the country that some people took out a procession in favor of protecting a rapist.
Yeah.
Or, you turn over the next page, say, oh, wow, this MLA was accused of rape. Or you turn over the page again and, oh, this cop was accused of rape. And then you turn another page and you read that a rape victim wasn't allowed into a restaurant, in Kolkata. And so these things being reported from various parts of the country makes such a strong impact on the mind of somebody who's been a victim that they will not dare to come out and speak their truth. Because historically, we've not been kind to whistleblowers.
That's true.
They are the ones that die or get maligned and get photoshopped and say, oh, she's a prostitute or whatever.
And then her life is over, basically.
Her life is over. And everybody would ask me about this, why is Bollywood silent? Why is Bollywood? I said, first of all, though, it's not like it's only happening in the film industry. This is something that is a problem in hospitality, in medicine, in education, in bureaucracy. It's very easy to blame an industry and say, oh, these fallen people, ye gire hue log, ye bazaru, they and you realize this when you're trying to rent an apartment in Bombay.
Really?
Yeah. Try renting an apartment in Bombay as a single woman. They'll be like, no sex, no drugs, no alcohol. One father is to come for interview, that kind of thing. And it's just, so then you see the whole societal system is, what do we call rape in Hindi? We call it izzat lootna. So as long as we have that baggage of the woman who's lost
so interesting. I've never thought about it that way, that you're taking away. So she's lost something as opposed to you've done something to her.
As opposed to the man who lost control or acted like an animal. We should deal with them and they should be the one who should be defaced.
I think one of the things you said was really interesting when I was telling you earlier. So tell me if I'm wrong, that it happens so much. It's almost like it's part of the process, like an interview process. You sleep with me and I'll make you a star. But is that how it works? Like these promises, do they actually
So this is something that women out there or young men who want to get into the business must know. I have only got work basis auditions, or then if somebody's seen a film of mine, I've been cast again. It is like taking the stairs as opposed to taking the elevator.
Yeah.
But it's possible.
But have you come across that, and then like have they very blatantly said, okay, sleep with
Oh
me.
yeah, a
or
couple of
this.
times, and I felt like they were really low-rung, idiotic morons. Although I was just starting out, and it would have made my life a lot easier. That's not the path that I will ever choose because I feel like this is an art form. So there has to be some amount of purity in it. I mean, if you speak to any of my original, like my first few directors that I worked with, they'll tell you that I was constantly like a deer in headlights. I didn't know what the hell was happening. And it's happened to me on several occasions that someone even propositioned to me and I didn't get it. They were like, oh, why don't you come for dinner? I was like, oh, thank you so much, sir. I just ate. It was a brilliant meal. I had paneer and chapati and, you know.
You have to do that.
Yeah, and you're naive when you're 21 and 22 and you're confused. But so this is courage that I've had to work on slowly because I feel like even if it's a front, I don't care if I'm intimidating someone for a little while, as long as I'm safe. I will tell you of like bunches of women who've had to sleep or have chosen to sleep with their producer or director in order to get ahead and then landed up with no work, no money, no fame, and only shit tons of guilt and a feeling of being used. Whoever's even thinking of it, it's not sustainable, guys. And there's no end to it.
And I guess after a point, if that's what your career is based on,
yeah.
let's be honest, at some point somebody's going to say, well, now I don't really want to sleep with her anymore. And
Yeah,
so she has
and,
nothing on merit. So.
She has nothing on merit. And also, to think the other way, if somebody is really going to cast you just because you're ready to sleep with them, what kind of film are they going to make?
Put you in, that's true.
Dude.
Yeah. It's not going to be like a very empowering movie.
You're not empowering, not respectful to you. And you see this, it's just a wasted life.
I don't know if you've seen, there's this like movie that's terrible. It's called The Room, which is like iconically known for being like the worst movie ever.
The one
and
for
now they've the
James
disaster
Franco.
artists that they made up.
Yeah.
And internationally, they have this closed set, you know, that no one's going to be there when you're doing a scene like that. And have you been in a situation like I know in Masaan you had sort of a
it's always a closed set.
Is it a closed set? Is it uncomfortable? Are there people staring? Or there?
It's not fun.
Yeah.
Sex scenes are really not fun. Anybody who thinks that they'll be fun, they've probably become actors to get action, which also happens.
Happens, really?
Yeah, which is weird. It's not fun, but it's also very technical. It's like, oh, if you kiss him to this side, we don't see your lip. Oh, there's a shadow on your left eye. Can you move? So you're like, and then there's a dada holding a reflector below you and he's looking away. He's like, हो गया ठीक है इधर से कट बेबी डाल इधर so you know it's just so technical and matter of fact at that point in time that it stops being anything but
just work
work but wherever I have worked I've seen that it's been a close set. And the directors always appreciate that.
So. And the other thing that always, you know, I hear very often, and I've seen behind the scenes also, like for instance, I've gone to IFA and I've seen behind the scenes, and you know, the actors are working together and they're getting along and they're being friends. But there's this whole thing, and I guess it's true sometimes, that all actresses who are peers hate each other.
I've had some bitchy backstabbing scenarios.
Like what happened?
Lack of security in your own craft, that she'll get the good reviews, or you know what I'm saying. So I've had that on occasion, but I think it's just the culture that is perpetuated, that we use terms like shelf life for an actress. So that's what becomes a problem.
If you say that about actors somehow, right?
You don't say that. And then people come up with like reasons for this. They say, you know, there's a product life cycle. There is a shelf life. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not ketchup, you know. I'm not gonna. And they restrict your options significantly.
That's the thing. That's what I feel like psychologically. It's even ingrained in us, which is why we're like, every time I meet a woman, she's like, I'm getting so old. Whether she's turning 25 or 45.
Yeah.
You know, she's like, I'm getting so old. And what's wrong with getting old? I'm like, I'm 41 and I feel my most self today. I feel like who I was meant to be. I'm less insecure about myself.
See, this is the thing. When a woman's worth is tied into her sort of reproductive cycle, that's the problem.
But I think so. You were telling me earlier as well. What is March Madness? You had started something where people were posting. You have to tell me what that was about.
So I feel like people just have this holier than thou attitude when it comes to actors and celebrities. Whether it's about, you know, expressing your political opinion. If you do that, they're like, just shut up, put a selfie or send me nude photo. So I would write something like, you know, why don't you smile? Is it because your teeth are crooked and yellow? Or, oh, why do you crop your photos at the forehead? Is it because you have a receding hairline? It's not. Or, oh, fuck, so much belly fat. Or, it's just because these
People who've said something
nasty to
nasty
me,
to
or
you,
sometimes even to my friends. Like,
yeah.
I had a friend, she's a singer. She was on a holiday, took a picture in a bikini, and they said, oh, hide that cellulite. You are just such negative, nasty photos. So the next day, of course, she is being herself. Took another glorious picture in a bikini doing like a pirouette or something. So like, oh, this makes you angry here.
So what was their response to when you posted? Did they say something back? Did there was more back?
Sometimes they're like, so sorry, ma'am. We respect you. You are like sister to me. I'm so sorry. I was like, ye rishta mat banaiye, please.
I always try to say, okay, don't respond. Have thick skin, or be above the haters. But now when I'm listening to you talk, I'm like, maybe there's something that needs to be said.
Yeah, I usually, if I don't have the time, mostly block and get on with life because it's very time consuming. I am not the girl that you say, some funny things like Richa Chadha, chaddi utaregi. And this chadda chaddi joke has been happening since I was in class 3. Like, at least the humor should evolve. Yeah.
Be a little funnier.
So there, I would make an example out of those people sometimes.
That's awesome. It has been amazing talking to you, as it always is. And I know that, and now you know that, which is why I'm so excited you're here. I'm going to make you do one thing for me. You're going to write a pledge.
Okay.
Something for my girl tribe, and then put it on my wall of fame. Here you go.
Does that make sense?
Read it, hold it up for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Reading it. Being my best self, going for the goals and coming through without worrying about intimidating anybody.
That's awesome. Please pin this up on my wall of fame.
Thank you. Lovely photo.
It is.
Yeah, it's an unused photo too.
Really?
Yeah, pretty cool.
Wow, nice. Good job, team. There's some pins on the wall.
Thank you guys. It was really lovely being here.
Thank you so much. You're amazing. And I know that so much of this extra footage that you may not see on this episode is going to be on Malini's Girl Tribe. So make sure you go and join the group. You have been amazing.
Thank you.
Now it's over to you. There are so many of you out there who are kicking ass, and I want to highlight your hustle and hopefully show a whole new generation of girls that they can go out there and achieve everything they want to. So check out this week's girl boss who works so hard to make life sweeter for everyone.
Hi, I'm Vahishta, and I'm the founder of Tianom Patisserie. So I've always had an eye for art and intricate details. I remember my grandma used to stir up the best caramel custard in the kitchen. Watching her work her way through it so effortlessly really did fascinate me and sort of steered me into the world of the culinary arts. I decided to study pastry science by attending culinary school in London. Once I returned to India, I started a home-based cake business, my own brand of exclusive and customizable cakes. Thus was born Tianom Patisserie. One thing I learned in this phase was that setting up a business isn't a cakewalk, pun intended. After having studied pastry science in a typical French fashion, adapting recipes and styles to the Indian palate kind of was challenging. And not only the palate, we're looking at Indian weather, availability of ingredients. All of what I had to learn had to be reassessed. Once things came on track, I laid out a marketing and social media plan for my brand, where I used Instagram as an integral medium to showcase my pieces of work. It's a slow but fun process. It's very interactive. It starts off with what my client wants, some pieces of artwork, material, colors, anything that's personal and special to my client. It usually takes, depending on how detailed it is, anywhere from a couple of hours to a couple of days to put together a showpiece. They say behind every successful man is a woman. In my case, I would say behind every successful woman is a tribe of other successful women who have her back. I've been incredibly fortunate to have my mum, my aunts be so supportive and encouraging of the business. They've helped me set it up, and it is where it is today because of them. To everybody in Malini's Girl Tribe, I just want to say that take the leap. You never know how life will surprise you. Being a woman is your superpower. Use your inherent strengths and subtleties to bring magic to the table. Hi, I'm Vahishta, and I'm proud to be a part of the Girl Tribe.
Vahishta, you are the sweetest girl boss I have ever met, which is why you're going on my Girl Tribe Wall of Fame right up here. And that's all for today's episode of Girl Tribe. I'm so glad to be sharing this show with all of you. And I love waking up every morning and seeing what you're all talking about on the Facebook group. And I won't lie, I love when you reply to my comments. Dopamine, keeping the conversation going is so important. So I'm gonna ask you a question. All the mothers out there, have you faced mom shaming? Why is it that people are always telling mothers what they should do or shouldn't do? So I'm starting a thread on Malini's Girl Tribe on Facebook, so go check it out and tell me your thoughts. And of course, I'll see you next week for another episode. Lots of love from my tribe to yours.